So issue 2 starts off where issue 1 left off, with Superman holding on to Greer as he leaps off a 80-story building. As they strike the sidewalk, it bursts into fragments. Superman said let's do it again, but Greer, scared, says no, that he'll talk. The man behind the threatening war is Elmo Novel, the munition magnate. You'll find him at the Lexington Park estate, says Greer. Having secured the information he desires, Superman takes abrupt leave of Greer, springs to the top of the Washington Monument, gets his bearings, then begins his way towards Novel's residence. Meanwhile, Greer is on the phone with Novel and notifying him that Superman is on his way. 5 minutes elapse and Superman enters the window of Novel's office. Novel reaches for a button and immediately 3 men comes through the door and start blasting away on Superman. Superman leaps towards the shooters and immediately throws them out the window. He then goes to Novel and tells him that he's going with him. You see that steamer? It's the Baranta. Tomorrow it leaves for San Monte. Unless I find you aboard it, when it sails, I swear I'll follow you to whatever hole you hide in and tear out your cruel heart with my bare hands, says Superman. The next day, an odd variety of passengers board the San Monte-bound steamer Baranta, Clark Kent and Lois Lane. A group of sullen-faced those who possibly intend to enlist with one of the armies as paid mercenaries, and Lola Cortez, woman of mystery and exotic reality who fairly radiates danger and intrigue, and Elmo Novel, who hurries past up the gangplank and quickly confines himself to his cabin. As soon as the Baranta sets sails, there's a knock on Novel's door, and it's Superman making his presence known to Novel. And as Superman leaves, Novel hires the mercenaries aboard the ship to take on Superman. As Superman stands silently at the ship's rails, admiring the moonlight, he turns suddenly at the sound of footsteps. It's the mercenaries, and they push him over the rail. The thugs then report back to Novel, who betrays them. Meanwhile, at the very instant Superman, swimming vigorously, has caught up with the steamer. But he never stops, he just continues swimming. Next evening, a few minutes after the steamer lands, Novel is attacked by the double-crossed henchmen. But Superman arrives to save Novel. He beats the thugs senseless. Novel questions why Superman saved him, but Superman tells him because the fate you escape is pleasant indeed compared to the one I have in store for you. What do you have in store for me, said Novel. Like nothing. All you have to do is just join the St. Monte army, says Superman. Later in his hotel, Novel formulates an idea on how to outsmart Superman. He thinks to himself that he will join the army and retire and escape the first opportunity he gets. After Novel enlists, Superman arrives and tells him that he enlisted too. Orders from headquarters, sir. We're to move to the front, says Superman. The new detachment moves in towards the battle line. What are you trying to do, kill us both? Asks Novel. You'll see, says Superman. But what I can't understand is why you manufacture munition when it means that thousands will die horribly. Men are cheap, munitions are expensive, says Novel. And at that instant, a shell whines overhead, then bursts. The column of soldiers drop flat to escape flying fragments of bullets. There is no place for a sane man. I'll die, says Novel. You see, when it's your own life at stake, your viewpoint changes, says Superman. Shortly later, the company ditches camps and retires, when suddenly, the sentries are puzzled by a dark shadow. But in reality, it is Superman speeding to a strange rendezvous. But at that instant in the enemy camp, a figure bursts into the tent and snaps a picture. And a few moments later, he's gone. Later that evening, Clark Kent mails a package to the Evening News in Cleveland, Ohio. Meanwhile, Lois Lane and Lola Cortez have registered at the same hotel. At that instant, army officers enter the hotel. Suddenly panicking, Lola darts into an elevator and hides a certain document inside Lois Lane's room. An important document has been stolen. May we search the guest room? Yes, you have my permission, says the captain. Sorry, madam. I told you that you were wasting time searching my room, says Lois. The planted document has been discovered in Lois Lane's room, and she must be put into trial. It is the judgment of this court that you shall be executed at dawn for espionage. Kent, in his disguise as a soldier, overhears an astounding bit of information. At the very moment Lois is being led out to her death. Almost faster than the eye can follow, a fantastic figure streaks past mile after mile. Ready, aim, but at that moment Superman jumps over a wall and gets in front of the gunfire, saving Lois Lane. He leaps away with Lois Lane, saving her and putting her away to safety. Finally, Superman drops towards the ground into the midst of a torturous inquisition. He gets a hold of him and tells him that he will get what he deserves. He then picks him up like a javelin and tosses him across the woods. Superman unties the torturous captive bombs and tells them that they're free to go. Later, after depositing Lois near the Monte, Superman advises her to return to America. And now to attend to Novell, says Superman. But when Superman returns to the detachment, he finds the anti-aircraft guns booming. The camp is being mercilessly riddled by bloodthirsty an aviator. Superman leads to the attack for the first time in all history. A man battles an airplane single-handedly. So then the battle rages on between Superman and the airplane aviator. The plane zooms towards Superman's figure, gun blazing, into a head-on crash. In a propeller shuttered upon Superman's skin, the airplane falls to its doom. Novell had witnessed the crash. Good, that finishes my nemesis, he says. But next instant, Superman is still alive. He screams, "Let me return to the US. I've grown to hate war." Okay, but you must quit making munitions, says Superman. There is aboard the Monte for the return trip. That about clears up the things. Now just one more maneuver to my mission, here we finish. Shortly later, Superman emerges from a tent with the army commander. Later, he also kidnaps the head of the opposing army. What do you want us to do? I've decided to end this war by having you two fight it out between yourselves. So go ahead, fight, and clean up the both of you myself. But why should we fight? We're not angry at each other, says the leaders. Then why are your armies battling? Asks Superman. I don't know. Can you tell me? No, can you? They ask confusedly. Gentlemen, it's obvious you've been fighting only to promote the sale of ammunition. And so, due to the conciliatory efforts of Superman, the war is halted. When Kent reports back to his editor, "Since you've been gone, there's been no Superman news. Maybe he's retired for good," as Perry. "Somehow, Chief, I have a hunch he'll make an appearance again soon." Well, that's the end of issue 2 of Action Comics. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, like and subscribe. Thank you.